Do I look okay also? Like, be honest, be dead serious.
Well, the lighting in here, I always say, is anti-women. It's Joe Rogan lighting in here. And I don't know what I mean when I say that, but I know it's correct.
Yeah.
Every time I see footage of this podcast, I go, I'm the ugliest girl in New York City.
Yeah, besides when they did your New York Times article, of course. I mean, like, just objectively, they're not good photos.
Listen to me. The New York Times put out a profile on me, took out all my funny quotes, and then uploaded the ugliest photos you've ever seen in your life. I looked 45.
It's not even that you look bad. It's that, like, the
photos are bad.
Photography is bad.
They're bad.
I'm like, I could have taken better photos.
I saw that article and I went, I'm voting for Trump. Like, I'll vote for Trump after that article.
You're the only girl who is going to complain about having an article in the New York Times. I'm literally like, oh, Steph got an article in the New York Times. And you're like, okay, fuck the New York Times.
Okay, but is it not the most female thing to, such a gross word, female, but is it not the most girl thing?
Female.
to hate, like, to get, like, a big thing and then be I look fat and ugly in the photos.
No, absolutely.
I cried in bed all day yesterday. I did. I texted the writer of the article and I went, you did me so dirty, girl.
Oh my God.
And she was like, I don't know what happened. I agree. The photos are bad. And then the photographer DM'd. Well, then the photographer DM'd me and I was like, she posted a bunch of other photos that were better and like indicative of my personality and stuff. And she was like, I don't know why the photo editor chose those. I'm so sorry. Whoever
the photo editor is at New York Times, we're coming for your ass.
We're coming for your ass.
You are literally anti-women.
I'm subscribing to the Washington Post. I cried a lot. But I've been crying a lot lately.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's why I got a spray tan.
I cried all night last night.
Really?
Yeah.
About what?
It's too depressing.
It too dark?
It's too depressing to talk about.
Cool. Totally. You're like, Epstein Island. I just can't get over it.
I know. I miss it. I wish it still existed.
I wish I was still young enough to get the invite.
I know. What the hell?
What the hell?
Wait, what is the last thing that I cried about that was funny, though?
I cried this morning from just general overwhelmedness.
Yeah. Overwhelm. Yeah, that'll do it.
I cried yesterday after I got my spray tan.
Of course.
Because what happened was I got a spray tan. That being said, I got the tan and I immediately felt the depression kind of reverse out of my body just from having a little bit of fake color.
Oh, that's how I feel after being in Miami and Mexico.
Yeah, okay, brag.
Miami y Mexico.
Okay. Brooke Feingold.
Brooke Feingold. I know, literally, everyone is like, what's your name? I go, Brooke. But my new thing is that I'm telling everybody in Mexico that my name is Azul.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out, like, what, like, a name would be. Not because I'm, like, I want to be like, okay, what's your Spanish name? Like, me llamo guacamole. Yeah. Like, I'm not doing that. But I'm like, my name is sort of not really translatable. Like, Brooke. Like, everyone's like, who? Brooke. And I'm like, girl, no.
Well, your last name's Feingold, and gold is oro.
Right.
So you could be Orina.
Orina. Ooh, that's a good name.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel really like me.
Yeah.
I'm more blue than gold.
You are Azul.
I am Azul.
My Spanish name in high school was Sofia.
Oh, okay.
You know how your Spanish teacher makes you have like
a
Spanish name?
Wait, but I feel like your name could just be
Estefania.
Yeah.
But I've always hated my name. I've had name dysmorphia my whole life.
Well, it's weird that you're someone who kind of has like two names. Like so on Instagram, you're Steph Dags, but in my phone, you're Stephanie D'Agostino.
Yeah.
But it's like, is it Italian?
It is.
Yeah, I feel like that's sick,
and it's D'Agostini. Nobody really knows what my name is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Stephanie D'Agostini. And recently, someone said to me, why did you make it Steph Dag? That's objectively uglier. And I was like, I thought it was...
It's punchy.
Punchy.
It is punchy.
And I'm punchy.
No, Steph Dag is punchy. But I don't see you as Stephanie. I had a babysitter growing up named Stephanie, and she had huge, like, dark, really curly hair. And so whenever I think of Stephanie, I think of her.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're not Stephanie.
Stephanie is a bitchy ass name.
Really?
Stephanie?
I think
if I was like, cute. Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Yeah.
I'd be a bitch.
It's kind of the same. It's a similar vibe as like Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany. Anything that ends with E is like, okay.
Right.
You whore.
You slut. But that's so many names for girls.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of my exes ends in E.
Really?
I don't even want to say their names.
They
don't deserve the press.
Don't platform
And honey, they're in the press enough. That's what I'll say.
Right. Famous exes.
I'm going to stop dating people in the industry. Because at this point, I can't even go on Instagram without feeling suicidal.
Yeah. Do you watch your exes, like, things that they put out?
My ex and her girlfriend are blocked.
Okay.
And then my other ex is muted. Mm-hmm. And Then the other people that I've like dated for less amounts of time, I'm friendly with usually.
Okay.
Or I'm blocked.
You're blocked.
Either I've blocked them or they've blocked me.
I think one person has blocked me that I've been romantically involved in.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Oh, actually, I've been blocked by multiple people.
Okay.
I just found out that I was blocked by my college boyfriend, who I had a really good normal relationship with.
Why did he block you?
I don't know. Because we had a really amicable breakup. It was sort of one of my classic breakup with guys where it was like, well, we've been at this for about a year, but I'm still a lesbian.
Right. Right.
And then it was like, all right, well, I'm going to go date some girl who's really mean to me, and you're going to have to watch as I confide in you about it. And we broke up, and then now he's got some new girlfriend. Or they're like, I keep saying like, when your ex is a new girlfriend, they're not new, but they're just not you. And so you're like, oh, their new girlfriend, they've been together for 5 years. You know, it's like.
Yeah. It's always going to be new.
Yeah, girlfriend. I'm like, I'm the
also,
girlfriend.
you're a sister wife.
I'm a sister wife. Yeah, exactly.
I feel really connected to my ex's new girlfriends and my current boyfriend's exes.
Really?
Yeah. Like
in a good way?
Yeah, like those are my sisters.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. I think about them.
Yeah.
Like, I hope the best for them. And I
guess,
mean that.
like, I do think that as a straight girl, you have a, like, I don't know, I feel like there is a very specific vibe.
With
because
your
it's like,
exes.
you don't have to be in community with them like I do.
Oh.
But you choose to be, which is very feminist of you.
Right. Like, you can't avoid them because they're at the woods on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, or Pat. The woods is a little younger.
Okay. Even for you?
Bitch, I'm not that young.
In my head, you're 22 years old.
I'm 26.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
But actually, no, because that means I've gotten older as well. I think I met you when you were like 22, a baby comic.
Yeah, you did.
I have like...
How old are you? We can bleep this, of course. Girl, relax. We literally were in high school together. Were you like a junior when I was a freshman?
Stop.
Like, come on.
Stop. I'm still in high school. I'm still in high school.
I'm still cheer captain.
Yes.
What were you like in high school?
Okay. You know, a lot of people are surprised when I tell them this. I was a cheerleader.
Me too.
Really?
Have we talked about this?
No. But competitive cheer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do school. I did all-star cheerleading.
Okay, I did both.
Okay.
Where did you grow up again?
Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Well, so
what gym did you cheer at?
Jersey's Best with a Z.
No,
worst gym in
course.
America.
We were cheergyms.com. Girl, tell me why we had a com. Tell me why we were .com.
Do you know Star Athletics?
Yeah.
Star Athletics I would do summer camp at. They were beasts.
Right.
I still remember their cheer.
Dude,
like
cheer is crazy.
Cheer is crazy.
I bet we have some like overlap of like cheerlebrities that we watched, or like, do you remember like the Loves, like Whitney and Brittany Love?
I don't remember the cheer girls so much.
Did you ever watch like the World's videos on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I mean,
of course.
Same. Like, I was obsessed with the Bullets, CA Bullets. Maybe I was more California teams. But
California also is its own beast of cheerleading.
It really is.
Also New Jersey was pretty big.
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like New Jersey is very similar to California. And that's a hill I'll die on. I really do feel that way.
About in like, cheer or in everything?
In life.
Because we're coastal.
We're
elites. But Jersey we're all also fucking trash and addicted to opioids. So
that's true. We have that too.
Yeah, you're addicted to weed.
We're addicted to weed. No, but we do have a lot of drugs in California. Like, it is the silent killer. Hot take.
Drugs.
Drugs is a silent killer.
Drugs are the silent killer. No one's ever considered it before.
It's so weird, like, when you move out of your hometown and then just every guy that you ever knew is, like, suddenly overdosing. Like,
do you have that too?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. We lose, like, 3 kids a year.
No, it's insane.
In New Jersey.
And it's all men as well. There's been a couple girls, but it's mostly been men.
Cool girls.
Cool girls. All the coolest girls die from drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did what level cheer did you go up to?
I did the top level. 5. Yeah. I did 5 and then I did Jersey's Best, which was a really bad team. Then I did Gems, which was pretty good in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And I was also a gymnast. And then I chose cheer over gymnastics. And then my junior year of high school, I'm going to proudly be a theater kid. I was already a theater kid on the side, on the low.
Well,
Nobody knew it.
Cheer is just athletic theater.
It is.
Cheer is theater for people who have coordination.
It's theater for pick-me's.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated going to practice 4 times a week. It was just so much.
It's insane. Also, like, mandatory practice.
Yeah, and mandatory outfits.
You had to wear a specific thing to practice?
Yeah, it was full military style.
Wait, what did you have to wear to practice?
Like little slutty short shorts.
Well, yeah, of course. But like
we were little Lolitas.
Ones?
Yeah, you had to buy practice clothes every year, and my family was poor as fuck. And we were going into debt for me to go to cheer practice.
Dude, cheer is expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
We did because cheer costume or outfits are like $600 or something like that. And I remember like the second year that I was there, you like bought the first year, and if you like use the same outfit, you can just wear it the next year, you know. But ours, we completely rebranded, and I'll never forget our like the guy Morton who was like in charge of the whole thing. He's like this like very large like bald man and just like very very of course gay. Also, cheer is definitely where I like learned how to be gay. Like I feel like cheer exposed me to like gay culture in a way that I had never experienced before.
Well,
which was really
what are those movies called?
Bring It On.
Gay.
Yeah.
That's gay.
Wait, one time I met Solange and I told her that I loved her in Bring It On All or Nothing. And she was like, what?
She was not in Bring It On.
Yeah, the third one.
The one
with Hayden Panettiere.
Oh,
it's the best one.
You're right.
Where she goes to Crenshaw Heights from PV. Yeah. Which I don't think they say what PV is, but I'm assuming it's Salsford.
And she like
and she crumps and she's like, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry about everything. But it's like so funny because everyone was like, oh my God, Solange is here. Like, I love her music. And I was like, I loved you in Bring It On All or Nothing. And she was like, girl, that is random as fuck.
It's like someone telling me they like this podcast.
LOL. I love this podcast. It's my first time listening to it.
Totally. We would go to cheer. We had a lot of like, because Jersey is so diverse, so we would go to a lot of like kind of inner city areas for cheer competitions, and then it was like my white ass team, and then when you were waiting for them to announce who won, you would go in the floor and dance. Did you remember this? Would you do a dance or would you just dance? It was just like they'd be playing music, rap music usually, and then my team would go and crump, like get in crump battles.
No, you guys would crump.
And I was always the girl that they sent out to do the dance battle.
No, can we get a crump? Can we get a 16-bar crump?
No. I've been canceled.
Can we get a 16-bar cut of that crump?
I can't do anything controversial ever.
You show up in cornrows and then just got back from Mexico.
I used my Spanish name.
Yeah, literally.
But it's it was really, it's hard to look back and think about that. So everyone thought I was failing school and I didn't correct them. And when I would like walk into the cafeteria, all the footballers would chant like acid, which is sick, by the way, which is awesome.
Because you did acid in high school?
They were like, she's on drugs, whatever. So they thought that.
That's so
and
random.
And then the last day of school, they announced the school like GPA order or whatever. And I graduated like 7th and everyone was like, and then I went to NYU and everyone was like, we thought you were brain dead.
Ah,
and
that's
I was like,
epic.
Got you.
That
was
so
my
fun.
peak, probably.
That's very cool. I was not that cool in high school. I think I was cool, but not in the way that you were.
Right.
You were, wait, what is your sign, by the way?
Cancer.
Oh, wait, that's so weird. And I'm sorry to ask, but what is your moon and rising? And I know I've asked you before.
My moon's Taurus, my rising Sag.
Oh my God, Sag rising.
Yes. Why?
Sag risings are sexy and cool. Every time I meet a Sag rising, I'm like, you get it.
I don't think I'm sexy and cool.
Bitch, get over yourself. Literally relax. I'm like, don't hire a lesbian to do manual emotional labor for you. I have to come. God damn it. The fucking token dyke comes in here. All the straight girls, no, you're beautiful, you're funny, you're smart, your tan doesn't look bad, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I'm like, teach me how to kiss, bro.
I literally should have a full-time salary for the amount of times that I have to hype up my straight girlfriends.
Is that a thing?
Yes. I'm like, God fucking damn it. Can you guys just relax? Yes, because it's like, I mean, I do empathize because there is like a beauty standard for straight women that like I do feel like gay girls can kind of not do because we don't have to like appeal to the male gaze. Right. We do have to appeal to the algorithm though, which is male, but we'll talk about that later.
But you have to appeal to the woman gaze, which I think is worse.
Oh, really?
We're harsher.
Gay girls though are not. Like
True.
My friend Zoe is iconic gay, but she always says, which I love, is that lesbians have the privilege of being ugly. Like, I mean, my friends and I, like,
it's really about the vibes.
Yes, my roommate has been like seeing this, or like just went on like a date with this person, and they were like, I didn't know if I was like attracted to them at all when I saw their profile. They walked in the bar and like my entire body like felt like it was on fire, and I'm like, that's lesbian shit.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my life.
because it's like when I see a girl who's
a man
like,
has never made me feel on fire.
girl, you might be gay. And can I say something? You might be gay, girl. Wait, have you ever had a gay experience?
Yeah, so my backstory is that my senior year of college, I came out to everyone as gay. I was like, I'm gay. And
like
I came
fully gay.
I was like, I'm bi, yeah.
Right, of course.
That kind of rite of passage as a girl at NYU. I was like, I'm bi. But I had a really big crush on my friend. And I was like freaked out.
And what was your friend like?
She's a comedian. Do you know Gracie Cannon?
No.
She's been on the pod.
Oh my God, I want to look her up.
She's like a neurotic type A comedian. She's like bi-ish.
Right.
You know?
Like bi technicality.
Bi technicality.
Right.
She is bi, I guess. She is.
Right.
But I met her and she was so neurotic and weird, and I had a crush on her, and then I was like, want to start a show together? And we started a show together. And then I got to know her and I was like, yeah, I don't like you at all. But
okay, totally.
And we became immediate friend vibes. But I did like a tour. I came out to everyone. My friends were all like, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am. And it was like really, and I was also like a raging kind of like feminist activist back then. Like I was really.
What happened to you? I thought, now you hate women.
I know. Now I'm a misogynist according to the internet.
All right, Emily, get in here, girl.
We have Emily here. Yeah, I was like,
everyone look under your seats. There's an Emily. Beat the shit out of her.
I would, curb stomp that girl. I would like write essays about feminism and the male gaze. Like I was really on that
as you're
wave.
sitting under the vagina monologues in Wild by Cheryl Strayed.
I know, those are from those era.
That's amazing.
And then I guess I became like black pilled.
Yeah.
Became an incel.
Totally.
Incel magnet.
Incel with a long-term boyfriend.
With a long-term boyfriend.
That's actually really fucked up to the incel community to say that you're an incel when you have a long-term boyfriend.
When I'm actively giving a man sex.
When you're actively giving, yeah.
Yeah.
And are you getting sex or you're just giving mostly?
I mean, isn't that really the age-old question from Aristotle till right now?
Yes.
Is what are girls getting from straight sex? I don't know.
Well, I always think about that because, like, I love to flirt. I love to flirt so much, and I'll flirt with anybody. Like, I love to flirt with guys, girls, theys, honey, anything. Mm-hmm. I'll flirt with a dog. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Don't do that.
Wait, also, when I was in Mexico, I was talking to this guy who was from Texas, and I was like, oh, like, because he was in the military, and I was like, oh, are there gay people in the military? And he's like, oh yeah, there's gay. I mean, people can do anything. People can, get married to dogs if they want now. And I that is crazy.
Don't do that.
Still saying that.
No, you stole his line.
I'm like, what? But what was happening?
You like to flirt with everyone.
Oh, I love to flirt with everybody, and I'll be like flirting with a guy at a bar. But almost in a way where I'm like acting like I don't know that I'm flirting, but I'm like, bitch, I know that I'm flirting.
Yeah,
but then it's like, but then you like play the tape and you're like, okay, then what happens after this?
I don't want anything to happen.
And then it's like you think about it and you're like, oh yeah, I don't want anything.
My best case scenario is I flirt with a guy, we exchange like numbers or something, send a nude and never talk again.
Oh my God, really?
That's my ideal relationship.
Wait, I don't trust men to send nudes to.
Well, yeah, that's
I've like hardly ever
famously the problem.
I've never sent maybe like once or twice to like a long-term boyfriend, like an like an iMessage nude. I was doing Snapchat nudes for days. And also my sister works at Snapchat now, and I'm always afraid she's going to be like, girl, we found your file. We found all these 16-year-old pussy pics on your Snapchat.
And once again, we're at Epstein Island. I mean, someone could ruin my life. Multiple people could ruin my life.
But this is the thing is I'm like, I feel like you can only let a nude ruin your life if you give it power over you.
Yeah, I would just release my own.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying, like, you're only as sick as your secrets, girl. Like, if someone put a nude out of me, I'm like, that's actually art.
So true.
Like, I feel like I'm just like, whatever.
I mean, I would be more pissed if the lighting was bad or it wasn't my best work. No, totally.
Like, I think that if it was a photo that I had taken myself, it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But also not ideal. But it's so, like, something that I did notice about, like, when I was starting to date girls is that girls will just send you a nude, like, right away.
That's awesome.
And maybe I'm just hooking up with sluts, but just kidding.
Are you dating me?
Every girl that I've ever made love to is a perfect, beautiful angel.
I just thought of something funny, which is that my worst nightmare, my current boyfriend has the most amount of nudes of me. Mm-hmm. He will take photos of me, like we'll be out to dinner or something. He takes the ugliest photo. It's as if we're in the studio, actually. Yeah. And he'll take the photo and then he'll send it to me a few days later to be like, look at you. And aww. I'm like, that's a photo of the back of my left shoulder. I have acne on the shoulder, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm in and there's a beautiful girl next to me that you are actually is taking the attention of the photo. So if he released the nudes he's taken of me, it would ruin my reputation.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, they're amazing, and I would look actually bad.
Yeah.
I'd be like, who took this? A New York Times photographer?
Drag their ass. That's so
I'll get
funny.
their ass. I'm suing. I should probably intro the podcast because we've sort of just been going on.
Yeah.
But welcome to Hot and Single, the podcast. My guest today is Brooke Feingold.
Hey, legends.
Perfect comedian, pixie dream girl, proud pixie dream girl.
Hashtag proud pixie dream.
Yeah.
Hashtag proud girl.
Hashtag proud girls.
Hashtag proud girls
forever.
Did you play Pixie Hollow ever?
No, what's that?
It's like a Tinkerbell online video game.
No, that never came across my desk.
Okay, it feels kind of niche. I've never met anyone else who's ever played it.
Yeah.
But
did I seem like the type of person who would play that?
Low key, you kind of have pixie vibes.
Really?
You're just small.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, also on being small, when I was in Mexico, I did a zip line and they were like weighing people before they went on because there was like a weight limit.
My worst nightmare.
Well, it was like you would have been fine.
Yeah.
It was like mostly for the guys.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then
But did they say your weight out loud?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't like fucking like America's Next Top Model or something. Yeah, and then we all had to do blackface. It was really weird.
Yeah.
We all switched races for the zip line.
They cut off all my hair and I cried. They told me I looked beautiful.
They gave me a red bob.
Yeah.
But and then for some reason they attached this like huge water bottle to me. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. And they were like, oh, yeah, it's probably because, like, you're small. They, like, need to add weight to you. Okay. And I was like, wait, I'm tiny. And then I get to, like, the other side of the zip line. And then the water bottle falls off. And I, like, say to the guy, I'm like, oh, I need that, right? And he's like, no. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, this is for me. And I was like, bitch, I'm a Postmate? I thought I was tiny. I'm just a Postmate?
Seamless. Also, have you ever,
Seamless.
when you go to get, a physical at the doctor's office and then they weigh you and you go, should I take my shoes off? And they go, yeah, you can leave them on. And I'm like, I'll be taking my shoes off. I'll be going
shoes.
Full nude. They're heavy. Take off 5 pounds right there.
I know, literally.
Have you gotten a physical in the last few years?
No, and I also just lost my insurance and I didn't
Okay.
go.
Should I be getting physicals?
I don't know.
What are they going to
At this
see?
point, I just want someone to touch me. I'll go. I want to go to the gynecologist just so they do this thing.
Oh, I love that.
I don't like
checking for cancer. We're like, it feels so good.
I know. I'm like, wait, can you go down a little bit? Get that nipple in there. Oh, you're bad, girl.
I think male gynecologists should be sent to prison.
Oh, I saw your thing on your Instagram post.
I think it's wrong.
A girl that I was once romantically involved with, who her parents did not approve of us. Her dad was a male gynecologist, and I'm like, so you're gonna be a male gynecologist, but you're not gonna be okay with your daughter being gay? You're canceled.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. Why would you want to be a male gynecologist?
I'm like, so you're allowed to get fucking waist deep in pussy. I'm looking wrist deep in pussy all day, but your daughter can't be waist deep.
He loops his whole body up and just zips up.
He magic school buses that shit. Come on, kids. Oh.
This episode of the Hot and Single podcast is sponsored by Tinder. You downloaded Tinder, matched, chatted, vibe checked. Now all it's left to do is go on the date. So, what's stopping you? Tinder makes dating safer and easier with these in-app safety features. Share My Date is the best way to let your friends know your plans for the night. Noonlight allows you to discreetly call emergency services if you're feeling uneasy or in need of assistance on a date. And Are You Sure will prompt you or someone you're chatting with to think twice before sending a potentially offensive or harmful message. Feel confident about dating safely. Explore all the possibilities for yourself on Tinder. It starts with a swipe. Download Tinder today.
I'm like being really disruptive today.
No, I like your high energy because then I feel like I can.
Yeah. I had a sweet tea. I'm feeling hyper.
You had a sweet tea?
Yeah. I'm
okay.
right now. But
okay. So let me ask you a single dating question.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
What is the state of your dating life right now?
I'm single as a Pringle. Someone so that was so cringe. Millennial. I am single. Someone slid into my DMs the other day for like probably the first time ever.
Okay.
And I told everyone that, and they're like, for the first time? And I'm like, so what? You guys are getting slid in, and
no one slides in my DMs. They do, but they're ugly.
Well, I guess that like people have slid in, but like it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Gabby will get like Hawkeye sliding in her DMs.
I know.
And I will get just the freaks, the bottom of the barrel plankton of society.
I haven't gotten. Well, I got a DM from a girl the other day, and she was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how single you are. How single are you? And I said 10. Which I was like, maybe that was desperate, but whatever.
Isn't it a 0 to 1? I guess unless you're open.
In this town, honey, no.
That's true.
But I will say that this is probably the most single I've actually ever been. I'm always kind of entangled with someone. Like I'm always having some sort of situationship or a hookup or dating. Like, I don't know. I've really struggled with codependency, as most lesbians do. Or children of dysfunctional families, that's what I'll say. And I feel like I am #doing the work. And then it's like annoying because now I'm like doing the work, and then I'm like, wait, and now I'm alone.
What does doing the work mean?
I go to a 12-step program, and I'm in therapy.
Oh, that's doing the work.
Yeah.
But I guess on therapy, because this is what I've done therapy, and to me, I treated therapy as like I was going through a breakup and I needed to talk to someone besides my friends, because my friends were going to break up with me also for talking about it so much.
Yes.
So I just like had this like girl, Ricky, she had lip fillers and a bachelor's in marketing, I think.
Totally.
But like, she was not a doctor. She didn't even have one of those little doctor acronyms next to her name, you know? Like LP.
Like LC,
yeah. She was just like Ricky.
Just Ricky, period. Ricky. Like Beyonce.
I miss her, actually. She was awesome.
Are you in therapy now?
No. And so that's the thing, is that I probably should be, because my life is crazy. And
I feel like if you're spending like all day crying over a New York Times article, you should probably see a therapist.
Well, what I did instead is last week I did Reiki.
Oh, wait. Yeah. How was that? Did you go to...
I went to a bougie place called The Well.
Okay, totally.
In Manhattan.
And how did that go?
So at first, basically you lie on a table and she like clears your energy or whatever.
Right.
And the first like 20 minutes I was lying there being like, I'm going to be the only person in the world this doesn't work on. Like I can't like get out of my head. I was just like, I'm just in a room and a woman's standing over me like, why am I spending $300 on this?
That would make me way too horny.
So I was, well, it was a pretty clinical environment. Fully clothed.
Okay, for sure.
You're supposed to be nude, but I had my period and I was like, I just bled through my underwear.
You're supposed to be nude?
You're supposed to be nude.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm not bleeding all over this table, honey. I'll tell you that
I've done that.
And I should have, because I paid so much money.
Yeah. They can get a new table. Bleed. Come on.
So I laid there, and then I started getting the sensation that my eyes were completely like there was a magnet closing my eyes. Like they were like so shut and I couldn't open them, and it started freaking me out.
Weird.
And then different parts of my body were like tingling, whatever. And then afterwards, she told me she was also psychic and she had a lot of things coming through during my session, which I was like I'm locked in, bitch. Tell me everything.
I'm locked in too.
And I told her that the thing I kept visualizing in my head was like a window. I was like inside a house and I wanted to let light in, but the window was dirty and I kept trying to clean it, but no light could come in. And I was like trapped in this house. And that my eyes felt really shut. And she was like, that's crazy, because what I was sensing is that your third eye is completely closed, and your third eye is what connects you to your true self. And I have been feeling that I'm completely disconnected from, like, there's like performance Stef who exists online and is and is a comedian, and then there's like the real ass me. Right. And I've been kind of unable to parse through what's what. And she just started saying all that to me before I had said anything to her. She was like, I sense that you were like really rebellious as a teenager. Your vibe is almost like masculine. You're very sarcastic. There's like a dark wickedness to you, which like works professionally, but potentially, you know, clogs your empathetic feminine side. She just started saying all this stuff. And she's like, and this turmoil you're feeling is like you calling yourself back home. And I just started weeping. I was sobbing in this Union Square spa. And then I felt completely like I was tripping on acid the rest of the day. Like I was so tired and like dizzy, and like I kept having to chug water, and I cried that whole day. Wow. It was crazy.
That's really intense.
And she also said during the Reiki, I also I couldn't swallow, and I was like I can't swallow, and I didn't tell her that, and then she told me that she felt shards of glass in my neck, and she was like, I feel you have a very biting way of talking. Sometimes the way that you say things potentially can hurt people, and that's part of your performance style, is like a harshness. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I am very like blunt, and that is part of my like kind of comedy. And she's like, I feel like you're not getting out what you actually want to say, and you feel misunderstood. And this was also the same week as that Emily video went viral, and I felt completely like what I had said was misinterpreted and exaggerated, whatever. And it really like sucked for a week. And so like this all happened at the same time, and it was really like profound.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're able to like set aside time to like reconnect with like who Stef is? Have you done any like inner child work?
Well, I do breath work and meditation.
Okay.
Which really, breath work has changed my life. I forget to do it every day. But when I do it, one session of breath work will change an energy in me. And also dancing has helped a lot. Yeah. I started pole dancing. And that has been like very healing.
No, I think that's amazing.
Connecting with like femininity.
Yeah.
But that's to go back to therapy. I always wonder, I'm like very cynical, and I sometimes don't believe in therapy, or I don't believe that anyone is smarter than me to tell me something I don't know about myself.
Yeah.
And so I go back and forth. So like inner child work, everyone says is amazing, or shadow work or whatever. But I'm like, who's going to guide me through that? Who do I trust to do that?
Yeah. Well, I do, oh God, what is it called? IFS therapy. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. I really like IFS.
People love IFS.
It's very good. I like that because I was just doing like the sort of classic like regular style therapy for a long time, like fucking DBT, CBT, shit like that. And I was just kind of like, I feel like it's not working. And then I started doing IFS, and I really love my IFS therapist.
Can you explain IFS?
IFS, and I don't want to like, if you're like a listener and you're like a doctor, like don't fucking come from my
There's
ass.
no doctors listening to this, so I'll tell you that much.
The doctor community riots. Yeah. My roommate is a therapist and is getting licensed in IFS, and they are the one who told me about IFS, but it's like inner family systems, I think. And it's basically like, they describe it as like parts work therapy. And so it's like, there are like all these different parts of you, and like I just feel like it manifests a lot in like the way that I hear like my roommate talk to me. Like they'll just be like, oh, like there's this part of me that feels like resentful for the way that you did this, but like there's this part of me that like is really understanding of like where you're coming from and blah blah blah. So it's like sort of seeing yourself as like an amalgamation of like all these different parts, and a lot of that is like your 5-year-old self, your 8-year-old self, like the part of you that is comedian Stef, the friend Stef, the daughter Stef, the girlfriend Stef. Yeah, it's like there's like all these different parts of you that can like coexist, but basically being able to like connect with each one of those parts and having, it's like sort of like containing multitude vibes.
Yeah.
But I find it really helpful, and like my therapist will also like will often be like, oh, you know, like if I'm talking about like a specific memory of like me when I was like 16 with like my crazy fucking boyfriend or something, she'll be like, if you could talk to your 16-year-old self, like what would you say to her?
Yeah.
Like what would you have said in that moment?
I listened to a live IFS session once on a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And it was basically like, it reminded me a little bit of hypnotherapy, where like you kind of go back to a scene, and then you as this part of you, this version of you, talk to that self and have a conversation and like I guess define that memory or something. Yeah,
it's really powerful. And I also think a lot of it is like sort of reparenting yourself and being like, oh, like I don't know what you're like.
Bad dad.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. Was your parents divorced or together?
Divorced junior year of high school.
Oh, that's a really hard time.
This is the worst time.
And do you have siblings?
One brother.
Older, younger?
Older.
Okay, totally. Yeah. Would you say that you grew up in a dysfunctional home?
Yeah, my mom's from communist Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
And my dad's an addict.
Oh my God, wait, you should come to Al-Anon with me.
Everyone says that.
You should probably do it then.
my dad's like a figure now in AA. And like
really?
Yeah, he's like a big in New Jersey, and like helps a lot of young kids.
Is he?
But doesn't father.
What's your relationship with like? Oh, okay, yeah, bad. Yeah, that is really unfortunate. But I mean, honestly, like I love IFS therapy and I love my therapist, but I do think that the thing that has actually helped me change and like #do the work is Al-Anon.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's completely changed my life. And it's also free.
Yeah.
But it's like I have a sponsor and I talk to her. We meet once a week. I go to meetings every week. There's also really great meetings all over the city.
Is Al-Anon... It's not also like it's not a 12-step.
Yeah, it is. It's a 12-step. Yeah, so you do the steps and you work with the sponsor.
As the relative of an addict. There's 12 steps also.
Yeah. But it's basically just like about because like people come to, like, I started going because my ex was an alcoholic, but then I like realized there was like a lot of other alcoholics in my life and just like addicts and like kind of dysfunctional addictive behavior that I had like grown up around and just a lot of like weird emotional stuff. And so when I started going, it's like they say that you like go for a certain reason, but then you stay for like all these other ones. And it's like all supposed to come back to you that it's like people who are raised in like dysfunctional or alcoholic families like never learn how to take care of themselves. And so Al-Anon basically like brings the focus back to you. And it's like, how can you, instead of trying to take care of all these other people or like manage what everyone else is doing, actually focus in on yourself for once and take care of yourself. So the 12 steps are like basically restoring your own serenity instead of like trying to change the other people around you.
Here's the thing though, I feel I'm hyper fixated on myself.
But but it's like
I had a parent who I parented and who still to this day, like in a sense, I parent. The relationship is definitely me being the parent.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've released that trauma of like I'm a little bit, not to be a Republican about this, but I'm a little bit of like, I'm going to pick myself up by my bootstraps and like keep going because I feel there was a period in my life where I was like a victim. And so I was like choosing the wrong boyfriends and relationships and then being like, well, it's because I have a bad dad and it's because this and that. And then I was like, I'm bored by this. I'm going to move on. But I think I overcorrected. And then I went so like, kind of harsh sicko Slavic mode that now I'm like I've pushed everything down and now it's like hard for me to even connect back to those feelings. Like I don't even remember how I'll talk about some things that happened to me in past relationships or childhood and people will be like, whoa, and I'm like I don't know, I don't really it kind of rolls off the back of my back, is that the phrase?
I really relate to that. Like I had a similar experience with like feeling like the victim. I actually had a therapist tell me one time that I played the victim, and I'm like, love that. You actually can't say that to me.
No, but I like when therapists are like, shut up.
But I was like, you're kind of real for that. But I'm like, I'm a Pisces, so that's kind of my vibe.
So true.
But yeah, like I mean, it honestly did kind of like, I was like, damn. But and then I felt the same way, like with like one of the relationships in my life that like brought me into program. Like I was just like, I'm so sick of this being like my story, or like, oh, I keep getting in these bad relationships because of this person, or like I keep doing this because of this thing that happened, or like this dynamic in my childhood, you know. And I feel like when I was like able to go to program, like that's been the only thing that's like helped me to not play the victim anymore and just be like, I'm actually responsible. I have choices. Like I can set boundaries and I can like put things in my life that are respectful towards me, and I can like put, because I don't know, it's like there was so much like self-sabotaging. Like I'm a really messy and like chaotic person. Like I'm always like showing up late with Chick-fil-A, you know, shit like that. But it's like,
but are you a people pleaser?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have the opposite of people pleasing.
Yeah.
I'm so like, at least now at this point in my life, maybe less in my early 20s, but I'm like, this is what I need. And I actually push people away because of that. Yeah. So like if anything, the last year of my life has been very crazy. I've become very introverted and like I experience solitude a lot and I need it. But also I think it's bad also. I
mean, I think that everybody can and does benefit from community, even if it's like not something that feels strongly to you. Like I can relate. I don't know. I think like in this industry, that's just kind of what happens. Like when the more successful they get, the more like inward and like kind of quiet you become. Like, I mean, the last few months, like I've just been dealing with like personal stuff, and I've like never been introverted. I've never been someone who likes to spend time alone. And I've like only been alone, spending time with really close friends, like just keeping it like really small. But it's like we literally need community to survive. Like, I don't know if you know about this like fucking ancient ass science experiment that they did with this like fucked up little baby, where they literally were like, oh, let's like put this baby alone and like just give it like food and water, but like give it no attention and like see what happens, and like it literally died. So it's like we actually need no, I know, right? But I'm like, we need like
that baby was a water sign.
That baby was a Pisces with the Leo moon and a Sagittarius rising. No, but straight up, it's like we do need community, and like that's what I also really, not to be like
and not stand-up comedy community, by the way.
That does not count. That is not community.
That's like my community.
That is the opposite of community.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've had to realize is I'm like, I don't know, I've been watching a lot of Ugly Betty, and that show is literally Bible to me. But one of the characters in Ugly Betty like tells America Ferrera's character, like, because she works at basically like a it's basically a parody of like Devil Wears Prada, and she works there. She's like the Anne Hathaway. And her friend there tells her, she's like, when you walk in this building, like, you don't come here looking for friends. And I'm like, that's kind of how I have to think about stand-up comedy now, because like obviously there are people who I like and trust, and I like and I kind of trust you, but we'll see.
You should trust me.
Yeah,
I'm a good person.
No, I do, and I like you and
Despite
Gabby, and like I have like a few friends in comedy who I'm like, even if we didn't do comedy, like I would still be friends with you. Yeah. But I'm like, you kind of just have to like see it as a job. And like
I treat it as a job.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and I feel like that's something that I've had to come to recently, because especially with like comedy, social politics, it's like, oh, if you're like in this group of friends, you'll get booked on these shows, and if you're in this, you'll get this thing. But it's just like, I felt like it's
exhausting also.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like I'm not having any actual community, because I'm spending every single night going to shows, trying to show face, like socializing, trying to like be around these people so that they'll like me, so they'll book me, ?
Yeah.
And then it's like, then it's not even working, and then you're like, wait, so now I just literally have no actual friends.
Yeah, I think the problem with comedy is that because it takes up your nights, that's when most people socialize. Yeah. So then it inevitably gets entangled with your social life. So now all my friends are comedians, and I have good friends. So like I'm happy and grateful for them, and comedy is like besides the point in our friendship, you know?
Yeah.
But it's the closest thing I have to community, because every night I'm at the comedy club. So every night I see the same people. It is like an infrastructure in my life, but it's so riddled with toxicity and whatever.
And also, I'll say alcoholism.
And competition and comparing yourself.
Yeah.
And like you can't help but be mad when somebody else gets something or whatever.
Especially as like a woman in comedy, and like the club scene especially, because it's like there's this like scarcity mentality of like.
I mean, I got passed at a club for the first time, and last month they didn't give me any spots, and I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done in comedy. And it like, you know, you spiral over it.
Yeah, it's really intense. And like I think that also a big part of connecting with that like true Stef is like trying to connect with people who like aren't in comedy, and like fostering those relationships. Like I've had to like take a step back from comedy for the last few months. And that's like all I've been doing is being like I reached out to my friend who lives in New York, who we were actually co-captains in high school, and we also did competitive cheer together. And we've just been hanging out a lot, and like we have completely different lives. Like she's straight and works in like I literally have no idea what she does. She works like a normal ass job. She lives in Manhattan. Normal ass girl vibes. And we've just been like hanging out, but it's like she's known me for so long. And it's like, yeah, she's not like a comedian. She's not gay. She doesn't have these things in common with me. But it's like she knows like who I actually am at the core. Yeah. And like I've been trying to really reach out to my friends who aren't in comedy, and just being like, I need to connect with at least one friend a week who is not a fucking comedian.
That's so
because
true.
Even the best comedians are still mentally ill as fuck. Totally. And we need to be like rooted in reality by people who like don't know what the
people
Vulture
have a 9 to 5.
Like best comedians of the year list is. Like, you know what I mean?
People didn't slit their wrists over Vulture's top comedians.
People who you say seek treatment to, and they have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea. Yeah, that's so true. There is something really hard about being grounded. That's what I kept saying in my Reiki session. I feel untethered to reality. I feel like I give more attention to the digital version of myself than to the like on the ground Stef. Yeah. And it freaks me out. And I think twofold, because I'm dating a comedian, so usually my relationship is kind of a bit of a sanctuary away from entertainment. That being said, this relationship I feel so seen, and it feels artistic, and it's also like we're gay as fuck, and we write poetry together, so it's like I have that part of it.
Okay, you know? Poetry is gay.
I'm in a gay relationship. I'm in a queer relationship.
I can't with you.
But he is a comedian, so it's still entangled in that.
Yeah.
You know? And like I don't have a lot of friends, and I'm not in touch with people from from high school or from earlier years of my life.
What about from college?
Not really. I have like 2 friends from college still. So all my friendships are very started in adulthood, as I was a comedian already. And so I feel unconnected to my past.
Interesting.
Which has been like...
What's your relationship with your brother like?
Me and my brother were best friends. He's amazing and incredible, and he's like an engineer. Like he's so regular, you know, but so funny and awesome. But he's like engaged now, and like, you know.
Where does he live?
He lives in New York. but we like don't really see each other that much.
Girl, you gotta reach out.
I think I need like wholesome vibes in my life.
You do. You need wholesome vibes. Like my brother and sister live in New York. My youngers and my olders live in San Diego, but there's 4 of us. But I've just recently, and my brother is like works in finance and like.
Didn't I meet him?
I think you did. Yeah. He's so funny and random. I love that guy. But it's like. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, we have nothing in common. Like, I feel like I get in this thing where I'm like, I'm a blue-haired gay comedian. And it's like, that's only been true for a few years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I've actually been all these other things. And like, my siblings like know me better than anybody. And I feel so lucky to have siblings.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they are really just the people who like fucking get you, even if you think that you're so different. And like, I've just been hanging out with my little siblings, like getting dinner like once a week. And like truly the only reason I've been reaching out to them is just because I've like actually just had something horrible happen and like have been just going through it as fuck. And I never really would have like reached out to them. But then when I hang out with them, I'm just like, oh my God, you guys are fucking awesome. And like, I have such a hard time. Like, I think I'm a really bad person all the time. I'm always like, everyone like is going to find out that I'm actually evil.
Me too.
And they're going to find out the real truth that I'm actually a psycho sociopath. And then I hang out with my siblings and I'm just like, you guys are just like chill and funny. And I'm like, and we're like the same. So I'm like, if people see me the way that I see you guys, like that's amazing because like you're just so special and sweet.
Yeah.
And it's like so affirming in like myself and just being like, oh yeah, like we're just like nice, normal people who are like funny and want to like bring joy to the world.
Do you think that because dating in New York is so like chaotic that it pulls you out of that like kind of wholesome and nice light energy?
Yeah, I definitely think that it can. And like, I think that's why I've had to really like pump the brakes because I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Dating can be so weird. And it's like, you want to get this attention and you want this like validation. And also
it's like another performance to me.
It is another performance. And I also do feel like as like a girl about town in New York, I'm like, I want a partner who's like also cool and like doing shit. But then it's like, I don't want to date someone because they like have clout or something. But I want to date someone who's like on my level. In terms of like is cool and is doing stuff that inspires me, but then I also just want them to be like normal. And so it's so weird to like try to find that balance. Like I've also flirted with the idea of like dating comedians and then that didn't go well and then I was like, I need to not do this anymore ever again. But then it's like, yeah, you want to date someone who like understands you and like who gets you. So I'm like, I want to be with someone who's like creative but like maybe has more stability than me. But then maybe if they have stability and then I don't because my life is so random and chaotic because of comedy, they won't understand. And so it's just like, what the fuck do you do? You know?
There's a Taylor Swift song about all this.
Yeah, is there?
On Torture Put? No, every Taylor Swift song.
Wait, also I posted something on my story about Taylor Swift. Wait, I need to pull this up. And people literally are like, is this real? And it makes me laugh.
Do you like her?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm like I'm an early Taylor stan. Like Speak Now like defined me.
I mean, they're incredible albums.
I mean,
I like
so
Taylor
good.
Swift a lot. I'm not a Swiftie. I think if I had autism, I would be a Swiftie. But those girls,
like those would be the thing.
I think it's amazing what she's done for the autistic girl community.
Wait, so I posted this thing. It's a fake Genius lyric, and it's like it's on Taylor Swift, quote, "Rainbow Dress" is what the song is called. And the lyric is, "I want to have straight sex at the gay pride parade." And literally the amount of people who were like, is this real?
Did you make it or did you find it?
No, I just found it.
That's so funny.
And I'm just like dying laughing because like the fact that people think this is real, but it's like it could be.
Because have you seen the lyrics for this album? It's like,
it's crazy.
I wish we could live in the 60s minus the racism. Like that was one lyric.
It's literally like, girl, get a grip.
And I like her a lot.
Yeah.
I just think like Taylor Swift fans are... The connecting of the patterns is really something.
It's insane.
My friend's like, oh my God, she would release her album on a Tuesday. And I'm like, why?
Why?
She's like, are you a fucking idiot? Tuesday's the second day of the week. Her second boyfriend was John Mayer. Mayer, Eric Adams. Adams, the Adams family. Wednesday, Adams. What's one day before Wednesday? Tuesday. And you're like, okay.
It's starting to get scary. Yeah, so I have no idea. But I'm trying to like... by getting more in touch with this like true authentic version of myself, I'm trying to
attract people.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what I actually want. And I think what I do want is like to be in like a normal ass relationship because I feel like I've always, like I said, I'm always entangled, but I've never been in like, I haven't been in a committed relationship since I was in college. And that was with my ex-boyfriend who blocked me famously. And it was like nice, but I'm like, I've dated a lot of men, but I've never really been like in a committed monogamous relationship with a woman where we were both like actively like, I love you and I'm committed to you. And I'm like, that's what I want. But I feel like a lot of my just like self-worth and random like childhood shit is like put up these blocks for me to like not allow myself to have that. And so I like accept these like lesser than situations that are like, the situationships, the like weird, chaotic, like will they, won't they, or like dating people who are in open relationships, or pretending that I'm poly and then just being like, I'm actually not. I'm not poly. I'm just Polly Pocket.
Okay, put that on a t-shirt.
Because it's like, if like things happen, and like also sex is so random and fleeting, and we're so young and hot. That it's like, I think if something comes up, like we can have a like be able to talk about it. But I think like monogamy is so like restrictive. Yeah. But I also don't want to be poly, and so it's like I think that just having like open communication about being like, oh, like I have interest in this person, or like what if we hooked up with them, or what if I did, and we just like had an open discussion about it. You know, like I think that that's more healthy than being like, okay, so it's just you and me forever until we die, right?
Yeah, and also I think that if I was in an open relationship with any of my exes, I would have been in turmoil, anxious the whole time, because it felt already shaky. This relationship, I'm only able to do it because there's no threat. Like I'm not, there's not an ounce of me that's like, what if one of us meets somebody else? Like it's not going to happen.
Do you feel like you are, and I hate to say this, but like, do you want to get married?
Yeah.
Wow, to him.
That's crazy. But like if we get married, it would be for the lulz, you know? I'm gonna walk down the aisle to like a fucking
You're gonna do the
punk rock
the
song.
Office like,
like
what's it called?
The dance. I'm gonna get married in like a rainforest cafe in Vegas, you know?
Ooh,
like,
that's
that'll
gorgeous.
Be the vibe.
I love that.
Like so I don't know. I don't really care about that stuff that much.
Yeah.
But I guess there is like a small part of me that's like,
I know.
It feels like a life. I think my ethos in life is to have as many of the like life experiences as possible before I die.
Yeah.
And in the apocalypse, which will happen in the next 10 years. So I feel like getting married, I guess, like why not?
Yeah. I mean, it does sound awesome to just like have a huge party that's all about you.
Yeah.
And how in love you are. And I'm like, because this is the thing is, I'm like, I don't even want to get married. Like, I don't even care about a wedding.
All girls say that.
But I'm like, bitch,
yeah, we do.
If someone was in love with me, I'd be shouting that shit from the rooftops.
Yeah.
I'd be like, someone loves me. Everybody come spend $4,000.
Yeah. I want everyone to fly to Spain for my wedding. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I want people booking flights on Delta points.
I'm going to a wedding in Rome this summer.
That's so awesome.
I know. And I'm also going to a wedding in Tahoe and a wedding in Idaho.
Other people... Idaho's not great.
I think it's gonna be pretty though.
Okay.
I've never been.
Don't know anything about Idaho.
But I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's like, because it's like, oh, Idaho, it's like, oh, it's like ugly. What, uglier than New York City?
True.
You know what I mean?
The Bushwick.
I'm like, there's gonna be fresh
People get married in backyards in Bushwick.
No, I'm like, honey, there's fresh air. I'm in.
I'm
like, oh, they got trees?
I'm going to
down.
Iowa this week. I don't even know where that is.
Iowa?
On a map, gun to my head. Do you know where Iowa is?
Iowa, yeah.
Really?
I think. Don't test me.
What side of the country is it on?
Midwest?
I think it's like Mid-East.
Iowa?
Yeah. I'm driving from Missouri to Iowa to Chicago.
Okay.
Don't know where any of those places are.
What car are you personally driving?
I don't have a license. My boyfriend is driving.
Classic. I also do have a license, by the way.
Okay.
So if you ever need someone to drive you around on tour while they open for you, I can drive. And I'm a really good driver.
Yes.
I have a clear record.
You're too young though.
Oh my God. I'm so sick of people telling me that I'm too young. I'm over this.
What do you mean? That's life's like...
I know.
That's the best part of life.
I guess I just feel
I'm dying for someone to tell me I'm too young.
I've always dated older people, and I'm trying to stop that because it's like, it's always like, oh my God, you're so young. And
that's
I'm just like,
the biggest turn on ever.
But then it's like, it feels so condescending. And as someone with like, and I know that you have this too, like, I'm like, I want to be the smart girl. Like, I want to be the tough girl. I want to be the one who like knows about stuff. And then it's like to be like, oh my God, you're just like so young. I'm like, but bitch, I'm smart and I know stuff too.
I think I have the opposite. I feel like I'm the smart girl IRL. So in my relationship, I want to be a little bimbo.
Yeah.
You know? I think the way that my daddy issues manifested is I dated immature, younger guys.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, totally. Because you were like kind of...
Because my dad is immature. Yeah. So I just started dating kind of like boy...
Yeah.
Like Judd Apatow characters.
Totally.
Man boys.
Yes, 4-year-old virgin vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally get that. I know I want to date someone who, but then I've been recently going on dates with girls who are like 24, and I'm just like, you're way too young.
That's young.
Because it's like going from like dating like 30-year-olds to 24-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's got to be something.
Did you go out with anyone after you did Hot and Single from like DMs?
No.
What about that girl that I wanted to set you up with?
The girl who was on Hot and Single?
Yeah.
I actually saw her on Hinge, and I sent her a like, and I was like, hey, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never matched with me. And then I saw her at Herbert Von King a few weeks ago. We did not speak.
Do you want me to set it up?
No, it's fine. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like if it was going to happen, it would have happened.
Yeah.
I wasn't even really like, oh my God, I need to go out with this girl. I was just kind of like, oh, haha, like for the plot.
Yeah.
We were both on Hot and Single. We should like at least just say hi to each other.
Yeah.
Did not match with me. Saw her at Herbert Von King. And it's also like, bitch, you know it's me. I've got blue hair.
Right.
That's what I hate when I see someone in public and they ignore me. I'm like, I know you're ignoring me because I literally have blue hair and I'm wearing a head-to-toe rainbow. Like, I know that you fucking can see my ass. Like, I'm a goddamn highlighter in this bitch.
Like, I'm wearing a fully reflective outfit right
I know,
now.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, whatever, bitch. So, anyways, but no problem, of course. But I was just kind of like, you don't even want to say hi for the lulz?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I am going on a couple dates soon. I'm going on a date with a girl who's like 28, which I feel like is a good age for me.
Good age.
Because my roommate, the one who's a therapist, is 28, and I feel like we're very aligned. Mm-hmm. And I feel like 28 is better than...
You grew up at 27 and a half as a girl, I think.
Yeah. And I think 28 could be good for me, or 27, or even 26. But I think I actually can't go younger than 26 because then I feel like I'm dating a child.
I was a freak before I was 27.
Yeah.
I was an immature, chaotic, annoying freak.
Yeah. I definitely like...
With baby fat in my face.
Yeah. And now you have the buccal fat removal, right?
No, I got buccal fat remover. Ozempic on blast.
Ozempic.
Whatever Lana Del Rey did for Coachella, that's what I'm going to be doing as well.
I need to watch her performance.
She looks amazing.
I love that girl.
She's so hot.
Yeah.
She had a stripper pole on stage.
Whoa, did she use it?
She kind of like twirled around on it.
Yeah,
in like a, all right.
I want to do a pole dancing class.
You should.
It seems amazing.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for strippers.
Yeah.
I think they should board planes first.
Do you like the movie Hustlers?
I remember watching it, but I don't.
What? It's so good.
It was good, yeah.
Oh my God, you should rewatch it.
I haven't thought about it.
You should rewatch it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm about to start doing private lessons with a girl who goes to my...
Sounds like a porn setup. I'm really sorry.
I know, and she's like so cute.
That's amazing though.
And she's like, I can come teach you in your kitchen. I'm like, girl, we'll clear all the dishes on my sink. Like, we can't do it.
I will clear the dishes for
like
you.
that full. I got rid of all the furniture in my apartment and put a stripper pole after one pole dancing class.
That's so awesome.
Which is very me because I'm very like, I do something once. And I'm like, this is what I do now.
I relate to that. That's like me and my crafting desk.
Yeah.
I have, and you know about that, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally have so many little things. I'm like, this is when I was going to make candles. This is when I want to make buttons. This is when I want to do sewing.
But do you get to all of it? Because I become obsessed with something for 3 weeks and then like,
no, I get
distracted.
No, I don't get to all of it.
So I haven't touched that pole in a month.
Well, because I'm like, oh, I have all this craft stuff. But then I'm like, it's almost like when you buy a new book, you almost have to start reading it immediately, or it becomes an old book that just is in your room.
It becomes a chore.
It's then it's like, oh, there's that old gross book, but then it's like, but what if I buy a new book? That's exciting.
Totally.
So it's kind of like,
we're such capitalists.
I know, it sucks. We have internalized
We're
capitalism.
fast fashion
for books.
Vibes.
We're fast. We're like Shein for books.
We're Brandy Hellville as girls.
Hashtag Brandy Hellville.
Hashtag Brandy Hellville. That documentary was stupid. Did you
I didn't watch it, no. But you know what
there
I did
was no smoking gun.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, and by the way, Brandy Melville was all skinny white girls in the stores. Like,
it's like, yeah, we knew that.
But it's also like, I think they should be able to have their own store. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I think it's fine.
Honestly.
There's a lot of,
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah,
don't shop at Brandy.
Yeah, just don't go there.
Just don't go there.
I honestly think...
Let those girly pops just have that.
I actually feel like what was probably more
dungeon.
fucked up was like Abercrombie and Hollister.
Yeah, well, did you watch that documentary?
No, but I feel
that
like...
was crazy.
I know, yeah, but that was like literally like child pornography vibes.
Yeah. Also, Shein is fucked up.
Yeah.
Zara and H&M. I mean, that's what's in our oceans.
No, I agree.
Our oceans are full of chiffon tops from Zara.
Brandy Melville is like, I mean, I guess it is big, but it's much smaller than like Zara and all those places. I did just finish watching the Quiet on Set documentary though. Did you watch that?
Of course. One day. I watched it in one day.
Oh, me too. I was just watching it back to back to back.
Incredible.
It was so good and so heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. I'm like...
Justice for Drake Bell.
I know, Drake Campana. I'm like, wait.
He also went to Mexico.
I know he did. I literally love him. I do. In his little seafoam suit.
Yeah, who did his outfits for that? I don't know. That was crazy.
Like, it's hard to say what was worse.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll wrap this up. We talked about dating. We got
real. I feel like we got to the core of things.
I think so.
That's what happens when you get 2 water signs.
That's it.
On the pod.
But I always tell guests at the end if I think they're the problem, and I don't think you're the problem. I think you've been honest with yourself about what you need to fix, which most people don't do that. And I think you have a perfect blend of like sincerity and like goofball Pixie vibes. Thanks. So I think someone would be really lucky to date you.
Aww.
And maybe we'll go to what's it called together?
Al-Alon.
Avalon. Avalon. Maybe we'll go to Al-Alon together.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, you
our
should
first
come.
date, Al-Alon.
Oh God, Al-Alon and then a pole dancing class.
Yeah. Oh,
all in a New York minute.
Okay, bye.
Oh, love you.